Today, folks, we're talking about therapy scams. I know, I love scams. I know you guys do. I love therapy scams. I know you love scams. I love scams so much, I've been pulling off some scams. Listen, guys, I've been pulling off some scams. Especially scams regarding people's medical history. I love doing scams like that. Just kidding. That's a joke. Don't sue me. FDA, please. Today we're talking about BetterHelp. BetterHelp is a online therapy organization which uses a system of special questions. I say special questions. It's like a quiz to basically set you up, hook you up with the perfect therapist for you. And you say, that sounds great. They're online therapists. You can just video call them anytime, text, call, chat, whatever you got to do. They can do it, and they do it well. I guess. Probably. No, not really. We'll find out. I was brought to attention by a mythical man by the name of Soggy Cereal. And he posted video, and I saw the video, and I was like, man, that's crazy. And I ended up watching his whole video and then doing my own research on this topic to a degree, trying to find pictures and stuff like that. And it is a whole lot crazier than you would actually think. And you think, therapy scam? What? And how? And why? And wouldn't that be a whole lot more dangerous? People taking and doing nefarious things with your therapy sessions more than your actual information. And yes, that's actually true. It's a whole lot worse. A whole lot worse. So basically, BetterHelp was involved in a scandal back in 2018 where they were caught using people's data, using people's medical history, and selling it to companies like Facebook and various other online internet sites. Basically, they were selling people's HIPAA data, right? Which is definitely against the law, right? And on top of all this, their so-called licensed therapists were not in fact licensed, and you were required to look up and make sure that their therapist was actually licensed. Like they could not guarantee that you were actually getting psychological help, which is absolutely a shame considering that's literally your whole website, right? As consequence for their action, BetterHelp was forced to pay $7.8 million as a fine for sharing this leaked data, for selling it essentially, and also for conducting business practices without licensed physicians. So that's great. And I know what you're thinking, Kabibi, this was back in 2018. What does this have to do with today? Not a whole lot, yet a whole lot. And I'll tell you what, we've been seeing a whole lot more of their ads recently popping up on YouTube, and people who would never take an ad from given their track record, are now taking their money and promoting them, and they know better, but I feel like they probably forgot, so I'm not really holding you guys accountable. I'm just saying they're not a great company, and you should probably stop taking money from them, to be honest. Basically, BetterHelp has improved since 2018. They now they make sure that their doctors are properly licensed. They make sure of it. They give checks and make sure. And also they make sure that their doctors have 3+ years experience, which is absolutely great. It's phenomenal. It's amazing. It's good that they're doing that now. Which, why wouldn't they? Even with all this, though, there are still a lot of negative reviews and negative experiences, which is an absolute shame, especially when it comes to mental health, which is probably one of the most important kinds of health that you can possibly have. Customers experiencing absolute idiots of therapists, doctors telling their patients that, hey, you're just not worth my time, so I'm just gonna go. And at one point, one person, she said that her therapist grabbed a bowl of popcorn while in the therapy session, just munching away, gotta have them snacks. It's just a continuous cycle of absolute terrible doctors. If you can't get a actual office to work in, I suppose the only way you can be a therapist is online. And if you can't get into a office with 3+ years experience, are you a good therapist? I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not trying to paint any particular pictures here. I'm just saying, if you can't get like proper work as a 3+ year experience therapist, maybe that's a you problem. The crazy part of all this is that nothing seems to actually make BetterHelp necessarily special compared to an actual in-house proper therapist, which is crazy when you actually think about it and look at their site of all their different perks. So we have here the different things offered by BetterHelp, and then we have in-office, and we've got in-office provided by a licensed therapist. Yes. Okay. In-office visits. No. Messaging anytime. Yes. Oh, chat sessions. Yes. Phone sessions. Yes. Video sessions. Yes. Easy scheduling. Digital worksheets. Group sessions. Smart matching. That's crazy. It's easy to switch. Oh, access from anywhere. That's crazy, right? And the thing about this is that all of these pros, you can pretty much apply them to a normal in-office therapist. Like, I've went and I called up a lot of different people that I know that go to therapy and stuff like this, and I talked to them and I said, hey, could you tell me if your therapist offers these things? And for most of these, except for some of these stupid little, group sessions are optional, obviously. Digital worksheets, what do you need a digital worksheet for, right? Who even cares, right? Don't care, and that's about it. Everything else on here, they offer it. They're happy to talk to you on the phone. They have no problem talking to you on the phone. You can always text them. A lot of people like this is pretty common. A lot of people, turns out, actually have a laptop and a phone. What do you know? We're not in the 90s. And the crazy part is that their whole motto is, hey, you don't like your therapist? You can just switch. You can actually just change it. As if you can't do that with a normal therapist. If I don't like how my therapist is, I'm just going to fire them and get another one. It's not that hard. It's not that mentally taxing. I mean, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that I can just switch doctors if I don't like my doctor. I don't know where they think that you're assigned one at birth. I don't know. What's also crazy is the pricing for these so-called bonus perks, which you can't get in an office. And basically their pricing, and I wrote this down, so bear with me. It's in front of me on my little notepad. Here it is. The price of BetterHelp for 30 minutes to 45 minute sessions is $65 to $90. Okay, that's for one session. That's what they're going. This price will, and for this price you will receive 30 minutes or 45 minute sessions per week. So for this month, we have 5 weeks this month. So think 5 sessions. And I'm making an educated guess because they have here at $20 for an extra, that if you wanted an hour-long session each week, it would probably cost you $85 probably a week then instead, if you're wanting that extra 30-minute session. I mean, I don't know who's going to the therapist every week. Maybe I should. I don't know. I don't know people's needs. I don't know. I don't want to talk about something I don't know anything about. Here I am, though. This basically all adds up to about $260 to $360 per month. That's pretty crazy. So at the high end, that's $360 for 5 weeks. So then let's take a look at basically what our in-office other non-BetterHelp physician provider costs. And this is going to get complicated, and this is going to get a little strange, so please bear with me, but I have done the math, and hopefully it makes sense. So, according to TalkMirror.com, the average cost of an hour-long therapy session is $120, but this, however, can vary. And the site even gives you a list of average cost per state. Mine is $110, and that's what I'm going to be using for this math equation. So I guess if you do need therapy every week, BetterHelp is a whole lot cheaper. Granted, this is $110 for an hour, and theirs is $65 for half an hour, so you 65 is $112, I think, then for a whole hour. I'm not quite sure. I think that makes sense. Basically, though, you take $110, you add it together, you could get 2 hour-long sessions for $220, which basically means you're paying for 4 half-hour-long sessions. So that's for $220 for 4, right? $220 for 4. And basically the 5th session would be $55. So if you add that all together, you would be paying $275 for 5 30-minute sessions, while BetterHelp would be charging you on the high end $360. I don't even know if that made any sense, to be honest with you, but I feel like BetterHelp thinks that their list of perks are enough reason to raise a price that is beyond reasonable. I don't actually think you're saving much money, because who actually wants to go to a 30-minute session when you could go to an hour session? And then you would actually be saving money if you think about it and do the math like I did. When $275 for 5 30-minute sessions, or $360 for the same amount. Yes, for this month. Then that math goes for this month. I think I did it right. I think it makes somewhat sense. I'm not great at math, guys, but I think I made sense. But what are your opinions on this? Please leave your thoughts down below. I'd love to read them, hear what your... Actually, you tell me. I don't know if I'm allowed to ask this or not, but just for the case, you tell me what it costs you per month to go to a therapist. If you want, you don't have to. I'm not forcing you, but I am curious to see if it is more than $360 a month for an in-house therapist. If you go to an in-house therapist, let us know how much it actually costs for you down below. If you don't want to, that's fine. It's just for science here. We're going to see exactly how much, if it actually is worth getting. All in all, though, this is a very scummy company. I wouldn't take ads from them just because of their history and that they're not very trustworthy. They'll sell your HIPAA data and not even bat an eye, which is absolutely crazy if you think about it. So thank you guys. Please leave a comment down below. Like if you love this video. If you're having a great time, if you like my content, please subscribe. It would be greatly appreciated. We're super close to 500 subscribers, so let's get there, guys. Thank you, and you have a nice day.